What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
'Cause your love is my drug. Your love is my drug. Won't listen to any advice. Mom's telling me I should think twice, but left to my own devices.
What's the first thing you think of when you hear the word love?
Hooks. Hearts.
My daughter.
Happiness.
Boyfriend.
Two people that feel great affection toward each other.
Yeah, that.
Macaroni and cheese. And avocados. Not together.
Plato stated the God of love lives in the state of need. It is a need, it is an urge, it is a homeostatic imbalance, like hunger and thirst. It is almost impossible to stamp out. And romantic love is one of the most addictive substances on earth. Neuroimages of people in love show that their brains work differently than those who aren't. The neurocircuitry is the same as when individuals are high on cocaine. When do you know you love someone?
When you're constantly thinking about them and you want to know how they are and be around them all the time.
I think it's when you think about them constantly, nonstop. I mean, you can be in love in other ways, but relationship love is a different kind of love. There's more to it. There's more definition.
First date.
When you can't stop thinking about that person. In my case, macaroni and cheese.
The moment you see them.
When you think about them wrong.
Love is a mixture of biochemistry, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. There are 3 stages of love. The first is lust, the second is attraction, the third is attachment. Lust is based on estrogen and testosterone being released. Attraction is when you focus on the person and want to spend time with them. During this time, dopamine is released to increase motivation for reward. Cortisol suppresses appetite and need for sleep so we can spend more time with the loved ones. And we have decreased serotonin, which may increase obsession for loved ones, somewhat similar to OCD. During the attachment phase, oxytocin and vasopressin promote long-term bonding.
Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now.
How do you feel when you are in love?
Happy.
Excited. And like kind of jittery and giggly and warm inside.
Like you are like floating in air, like you're so happy.
Happy.
But love isn't always a happy experience. In one study of college students, they asked a lot of questions about love, but the 2 that stood out to me the most were, have you ever been rejected by somebody who you really loved? And the second question was, have you ever dumped somebody who really loved you? And almost 95% of both men and women said yes to both. Almost nobody gets out of love alive.
Lust, romantic love, and attachment are not always connected. People can feel one way towards one person and a different way towards another. You can have romantic love for one person and normal love for another, which can lead to cheating and heartbreak. How do you show love? Giving them care.
I think there's various ways to,
Chocolate, I don't know.
yeah, little things that you can do, like hugging around and kissing and telling them. I mean, obviously, but I've only feel it and know it. I guess I don't know.
Caring for them.
There's so many ways. I mean, you can say it simply by I love you, or you could do it in other ways, as in giving you roses or taking you out on a date.
A lot of it's like emotional too, just being for them, being there for them, caring for them, making sure they're okay.
I think that you act very unselfishly and you look out for their best interests over your own.
The real question is it love or is it lust? It's lust if you're focused on looks, interested in sex, not conversations,
not wanting to discuss your feelings and are more lovers than friends.
Love is when you want to spend quality time with someone and get to know more about them and their feelings. It also includes wanting to meet their friends and family and genuinely loving them.
Does social media like Facebook help love?
Mm-hmm. It separates in a way because you're not like connected.
In certain cases, it can, but I don't think that it's necessary.
You just talk to each other on the computer. You don't get to see each other, so really it's not that good.
Straight up
Why?
ruins it.
Why?
It's like everybody judges you about it. It's whether they're like, oh, well, you're too young to be in love, or like, it's not real. Like, we don't know our feelings. Shut up.
Me and Amy were at Red Robin, and like the people next to us were on a date, and they were just on their phones the entire time.
In the Western world, women start sooner at sex, have more partners, express less remorse for the partners that they do, marry later, have fewer children, leave bad marriages in order to get good ones. We are seeing the rise of female sexual expression.
In the mid-1800s, only about 4% of U.S. marriages ended in divorce. By 1970s, it has grown to more than 40%. However, there is the same proportion of intact marriages today as there were before because people on average live much longer. Marriages before ended with death of one partner, which is the same proportion of marriages that end in divorce today.
We're also returning to an ancient form of marriage, equality. They're now saying that the 21st century is going to be the century of what they call the symmetrical marriage, or the peer marriage, or the companionate marriage. This is a marriage between equals, moving forward to a pattern that is highly compatible with the ancient human spirit.
She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. You think you've lost your love? Well, I saw her yesterday. It's you she's thinking of, and she told me what to say. She said she loves you, and you know.
We're also seeing a rise of romantic love. 91% of American women and 86% of American men would not marry somebody who had every single quality they were looking for in a partner if they were not in love with that person. People around the world in a study of 37 societies want to be in love with the person that they marry. Indeed, arranged marriages are on their way off this grade of human life.
Is there such thing as love at first sight?
Yes.
Kinda.
I believe in love at first sight.
In looking for Alaska, a boy by the name of Pudge goes off to boarding school. When he's at boarding school, he falls in love with the girl named Alaska. Through the book, there are many bad encounters that he has when he falls into alcohol and drugs, and Alaska ends up dying one night. Throughout this book, it shows how Pudge fell in love with Alaska and the way that he overcame the despair of her death.
Love don't die, no matter where we go. Or even if we don't. And even if they try, they'll never take my body from your side. Love don't die.
Yeah, but I don't know any of these.
I didn't study.
I don't know. We can crop it. No! Stop! I think I can crop it.
Can you edit all of that out?
Yeah.
please?
Yeah.
Question. We'll just answer because we already have it. How do you When do you know you?
You need to look at the camera.
Okay, stop.
Hey, shh.
What is love?